people with diabetics. So if they have wound, so it takes longer time to heal, and there is so that makes a huge amount of cost in the healthcare sector. So, like, my aim was to develop a wound healing scaffold which would help in the faster and efficient healing of wound in a very economical way. And I also have worked in many other projects like cancer, especially for bone cancer. So what we were working on is to develop a material for a localized bone cancer. So our aim is to develop a scaffold loaded with a nanoparticle which has a drug. So when we are to place a scaffold in a particular area, the scaffold would help in the regeneration of the cancer region, whereas the drug would cure the cancer. So I was working on several projects like that.
So one question I want to ask you, after you finished your BTech, why did you decide to go back to IIT Madras to do research and not go and join job or something like that? Is there a reason?
Okay. So so when I was doing my undergrad, my aim was to join IIT for masters.
Mm-hmm.
So that time I didn't have an idea of doing because during my final year project I was about to do it in my school, in my own college, and I didn't have the idea of doing it in IIT. I was trying so many institutions. I was contacting faculties as well as for doing a project to companies as well. Then I got an opportunity to work under the professor, and then I did my project in the same lab under the guidance of the professor. After going there and getting the experience.
My question was different. My question was, why didn't you join a job versus going for research?
Okay. So my ambition is to become a professor,
okay.
And I'm not very much oriented in industry.
Got it.
So I thought I didn't wish to go to a job.
So
if I'm going for a job, I was more intended to work in an R&D.
Got it.
And being a BTech, I couldn't enter there, so I didn't do it.
No, I got my answer. So I think still you have this intention that you want to become a faculty and do research. That's what you like, probably.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Okay, I understand now. So if that is your desire, you have to do PhD. You know that, right?
Yeah,
I think some of your questions are very clear. So I think you want to finish your PhD. You want to do PhD. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me give you an advice now. And I see your question. So you're talking about that you have applied for a program outside, you got a low GRE score, and then you didn't get admission somewhere, but you have gotten admissions at Melbourne and other places. But that is, again, you have to pay from your pocket, and taking a loan could be a big problem for a lot of people, and I understand that. And so forth. So, okay. So let me give you my advice now. So I think you did the right thing going to IIT Madras and doing research. Perfect. Because I think your university is not very well known, in my opinion, where you did your undergrad, right? So it is good that you join IIT Madras and get familiar with professors, because you need a good recommendation letter and all that, and that helps, right? So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So let me tell you, I think if you are aiming to become a faculty member, number one, you need a PhD, whether it's from India, whether it's from abroad. The question comes, do you want to come back to India and become a faculty member in India, or you want to settle down in US, or you want to settle down in Australia? What is your views on that?
I want to settle in abroad,
abroad. Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. So that's perfectly fine. That's not a problem. So again, if you are clear on that aspect, I would say then you have to go out.
Okay.
Then if you want to settle down abroad, that means you need to get out from there. You can't stay in India, because if you're going to do your education in India, your chances of settle down outside will be very less.
Okay.
Okay, there are two ways that people do that. One way is, let's say you join a company and then you come, right? And sometimes they allow you to come. The chances are very few these days, but sometimes. And the second is, you come, you do your PhD, find a job, do work like everybody else, like I have done it, right? So that's the other way to do it. To become a faculty member in US, if you want to do the same thing, right? You want to become a faculty member, or you want to join a company, an R&D and so forth, you can do your masters, but the chances for you to join a R&D of a company would be little bit lower, because you are just a masters,
Okay.
especially with good companies. Usually the R&D and all that, most of the time there are PhDs,
Okay.
right? Of course, if you want to become a faculty member, again, you have to have a PhD, no doubt.
Okay. My ultimate aim is to get a PhD, but I'm confused whether to do the masters here and go for PhD or
Yeah, yeah,
go for the.
I'm coming to that. So, and also one thing you have to remember, whether it's in India, whether it's in US, if you want to become a faculty member, joining a big school is very important. You can't
Okay.
join a school which is not well known and think that you can become a faculty member. The chances are extremely low. So, if you want to become a faculty member, going to Stanford, going to big schools is highly desirable.
Okay.
So, let's say if you get an admission from a university which is of a low ranking university, your chance of becoming a professor is gone almost.
Okay.
Okay, so just remember that. Again, I'm saying it's not possible, but it's very low. But let's say if you do PhD from Stanford, if you are doing PhD from Princeton, if you are doing PhD from Ivy Leagues, if you are doing PhD from good school with a good professor, the chances are extremely high. Okay.
But there are people who are advising me, while shortlisting universities, they were it is fine to do a PhD in any university. It doesn't matter which university you're doing. What matters is whether you're doing in your area of interest or not. People are saying that. So,
Remember when you
what's your
said,
point?
no, that's what I'm saying. Remember what you said, what you want to do. Your aim is to get PhD, or your aim is to get PhD and become a faculty member. There's two
I want
different.
to do PhD and become faculty member.
So that is the reason I said that. Because you can get PhD anywhere. I mean, you can get PhD from probably some university next door, right? That's not the point. Point here, what you want to do after that, right? So,
Okay.
so my advice it is extremely desirable that you do PhD from a good school. Again,
Okay.
let's say if you do PhD from not so good school, you can still join an industry, an R&D and all that. You can do that. That's possible.
Okay.
That's not a problem. But only thing I'm saying, if you want to become a faculty member in a university, the PhD from a good school, from a good professor, in a good area of research is highly desirable.
Okay.
Okay, so let's retract back. What you have to do that for then now? That means number one, good recommendations. So number one, to get into a good school, number one criteria, very good GRE score.
Okay.
Otherwise, not possible. No matter how good your research is, no matter how good your references are, number one criteria is an extremely good GRE score. If you have a really good GRE score, then you can definitely say I have a good references, I have done good research, I have published papers, yes. But if your GRE score is low, everything is better, not gonna work.
Okay.
Okay, so just make sure, don't be under any type of illusion that okay, I am doing my research from IIT Madras, that will help. No, good GRE score, number one. Okay, so just be clear on that. Let's talk about now coming for masters and or coming for PhD or taking loan and all that. My advice would be, if so, I can give you an example. When I was doing my undergrad from India, my friends were was there, and he got admission at Stanford, and then he got admission at another university, I think University of Utah. But University of Utah gave him full scholarship, and Stanford didn't promise. And like any student, he went to University of Utah because he couldn't take loan. Right? So my point here is, if your case is the same, let's say if you are in that same situation and you said, there is no way I can take loan, not possible, right?
It's difficult.
Yeah, so you have to understand that that's your decision. So if you are in that same situation that no, I can't take a loan, it's not possible for me, right? Then my advice would be, do masters at IIT, because after you do your masters from IIT, you get a scholarship, and then going for a PhD program would be in a good school is much easier because you have a tag of IIT as a masters. And many students I know that who have done their masters from IITs or ISCs come here as a PhD in good schools, and they do extremely well.
Okay.
Because for PhD program you get a scholarship, but for
Yes.
master's program it's not possible. Okay, another way is you can say, can I join direct PhD program? It's possible also. It's also possible. So you can,
Okay.
if you have, again, I'm gonna go back to the same thing. Again, I don't have that information, but if the professor can allow you, you can go for direct PhD program.
Okay.
So you can apply because you have 10 plus 4, 12 plus 4 education. You are eligible, I think, to enroll into a direct PhD program. And personally, I like that because then I don't waste my time for doing masters.
Yes.
And actually, I know few people who have done that. I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm pretty sure that if the professor allows you, you can do it. What they do, actually, to be honest with you, if you enroll into a direct PhD program, what they do is after you finish some coursework, they allow you to get a master's degree, and then you keep continuing, basically. So it's possible. In that case, you get director scholarship and everything. But to be honest with you, everything will lie on your GRE score. If you get a good GRE score, you have a lot of possibilities to go to a good school, to do things and all that. But just don't go outside because you want to go outside and do PhDs, because I know many people who are frustrated after that. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I cannot keep up with you.
So you have any other question?
Yeah, so I have applied for University of New South Wales as well for Masters by Research program. So actually my result should have come by now, but it is delayed due to COVID. So that is like with full scholarship I have applied. So I got acceptance from the professor as well. So I don't know like what results I will be getting there. So so due to COVID now what I can do, like if I am to take a GRE now and look for a direct PhD, like during that time, like what I can do, like there shouldn't be a gap in my resume, like profile. So what I can do to fill that gap?
Um, I would. I mean, there is a situation now where many universities who are giving admissions, especially with COVID, they are saying that 80% of classes will be online or 90%. And for that matter, you have to stay there and you can't come over here and things like that. I personally don't like it. In that case, my advice would be is to defer your admission, or to say, or where you are right now, just try, doing the same thing. One thing I can tell you, as I said, you have to understand one thing. Keep in mind what is your ultimate goal. Your ultimate goal is not to do a PhD. Don't be desperate. because coming is easy, but the consequences you can't change after that. See, right now, you said right, your biggest problem is you can't take a loan, and I don't advise. To be honest with you, I don't advise anybody to take education loan. Especially these days, because I have counseled many students now who are in US, completed their masters, and have taken loan, and because of this COVID, there is no jobs, and everybody is in trouble. And everybody
Okay.
has like 40, 50, 60, 70, $80,000 loan. I don't know how they're gonna pay back. So as I said, if you are not comfortable for that, not comfortable doing that, there is a way I told you. Go join IIT, do your masters, do the thing in a right way. Do your masters, publish papers. Then also you get chance then to prepare for GRE again, because you have time now.
Yes.
Prepare for that. Get a good score. Get good research. Publish papers, and you will be in much better situation. To be honest, much better situation.
Okay.
Rather than panicking now, oh no no no, I want to do. See, don't try to get shortcut. There is no shortcut. I think what you are trying to do is figure it out. How can I quickly jump and skip the rope? No, it doesn't work that way. To be honest, it won't.
Okay.
And I think you also know inside you that may not be possible, because let me put it this way: education is a business. Education is a business. So if you have $80,000 in your pocket, trust me, you can get admission anywhere, regardless of your GRE score.
Okay.
The challenge is, can I get a scholarship? That's the challenge, right? And that's why everybody, I would say 99% of master students who come from India, master student who come from India, have loan in their loan with them. But the problem is, especially now, not many people are able to find a job, and everybody's panicking. I mean, I knew
Yes.
when I came here, I had a scholarship, but I knew many people who, like my friends who were doing masters with me, they took loan and I know someone who, I like few of them, that they sold maybe their house or their property or whatever to took that loan, and they did it in pretext that they will find a job, and they did find, and the life is easy then. But my point here is, I think the situation is not the same. And to be honest with you, it's all depends on, are you comfortable doing that or not? If you're not
Okay.
comfortable, if your parents are not comfortable, if you are not comfortable, don't do it. Because
Okay.
what it will do, it will put unnecessary pressure on your brain, right?
Yes.
So I would say my advice to you would be looking at your questions and everything, and all these universities you have told me, whether it's Melbourne or Redbound and other universities. To be honest with you, I have heard about Melbourne, but I have not heard about other universities. So again, going back to the same point, what are you gonna do if you gonna finish your masters there or something? You're gonna be struggling again, right?
Okay.
Again, I'm not saying that that is the possibility, but what I'm trying to tell you, what is the best way that you can have a nice and secure future, and then achieve what you have in your mind. So don't
Okay.
worry about time. Don't worry about, oh, I'm panicking. Don't worry about all those things, because things will be fine. Important is doing the right thing, no matter whether it's take one more year, doesn't matter, because you will be at a right place, right? There
Okay.
were many times in
Yes.
my career where I can tell you that I decided that I should I do this or should I not do this. I can give you one example of my undergrad. So when I finished my 10 plus 2 class 12, I got into a admission into an engineering college, and I didn't join it. I said, no, I want to go to IITs. I prepared for that one more year and went to and joined IIT Varanasi. My point here is, that one year I wasted doesn't matter now, because that going to that school helped tremendously, right? So my point here is don't worry about time. Taking a right decision is more important.
Okay.
So in your case, my advice would be stay there if you can, but make sure that you go for your masters in good school. Don't join somewhere else. Same thing. So make sure you join at
Okay.
IIT Madras. Make sure you join at better schools, good schools like IITs, which has good brands. And once you join it, then you can. It will also give you a time to do research, publish papers, make contacts, get good reference letters, and get into a good program outside, and then prepare for GRE, because your GRE you need to give anyway. Doesn't matter if your score is
Yes.
good. Yeah. The other thing I would also advise you is you can also become a faculty member in India. You don't have to go outside. If let's say it doesn't work out, and if you are doing your PhD from IIT Madras or ISC Bangalore, but it's IITs, not from anywhere else, you can become a faculty member in India too.
Okay.
That's also a possibility. You don't have to worry about leaving your hometown. You don't have to worry about money because they pay you, I think, right, in both cases. So, don't have to
Yes.
worry about all those things. So, as I said, uh, that is also a possibility. But again, make a right decision. Don't, because I see nowadays many students, they just want to come out without any thinking, like why, what is the reason, what is my goal, and they just come out, which is fine. I don't mind that. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but especially the COVID situation has taught many lessons to people. Like anything can happen. Like, and for how are you prepared for that, right? So I really feel sorry for those people who have so much loans and now they have to go back because there is no jobs. And there are many of them. Trust me, I have spoken to so many of them. I can't tell you. But again, I also know people who have taken loan, found a job, able to pay their loan, and then move on. I know many of
Okay.
them. Yeah, that's also a possibility. But again, are you comfortable doing that? Can you take that risk? Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any other question, Meghala?
No. No. Like. Okay.
I think you are thinking in a right way. Be honest to yourself, right? And but only my advice would be, don't rush into things. Like,
Okay.
oh, I got this admission somewhere. Don't get too excited because all they want is your money. To be honest with you, right? If they're giving you a scholarship, yes, I understand. Then go. See, here is the thing. If let's say you get at this University of Melbourne or Rodburn University a master's program, and they are giving you
Yes.
scholarship, full scholarship. You don't have to pay from your pocket. Go, no doubt, because from there you can always go to a good school and do PhD, right? You can go. But if
Yes.
they are saying, "Oh, I'm in a master's program and give me money and we will give you masters," then think. But at the same time, I would say, let's say if you get into admission at MIT or Stanford at a master's program and they are saying, come and join, and but you have to pay, then you can take that risk. That's okay because the school is good. Usually what happens if you're doing your masters from those schools or sometime, and if you are committed to do a PhD, you can find professors who are able to pay you after a semester or so. That's possible.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can also think one thing. Let's say you are going to University of Melbourne. I just want to give you an advice. And if you already had an admit there, start talking to professors there. Say, I am enrolled for a master's program, but I want to do my PhD. And is it
Okay.
possible that after a semester or something, can I get a full scholarship? So have that conversation. It could be possible that some professor says, "Yeah, I have a project. Why don't you come to my lab and we will, you can join a PhD program and we will pay you." It can be possible. And
Okay.
Melbourne is a good school. That's a good.
So I have admits from Brown University and Cornell as well, but for masters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let's take about what's other university?
Brown University and Cornell University for
Uh,
masters in biomedical engineering.
okay, But what? Okay, so so do one thing. If that is the case, I would say speak to professors there at Brown and Cornell.
Okay.
Start emailing to professors saying that I'm already working at IIT Madras. This is my research. This is what I do. I'm very passionate about doing research. I want to join a PhD program or I want to join your group. Is it possible? Because
Okay.
if some professor is convinced with your pitch, he or she can allow you to join his lab, and you can make, maybe for a semester you have to take a loan. Okay, maybe for a semester you have to do this, but I can assure you, if you have started working in their lab as a as a PhD program, like committed for a PhD program, they will pay for you. It's possible.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't know about that. So what you can do is start mailing your professors at Brown, at Cornell, look at their profile, look at their research, and see what's you're interested in. Email them and say, I
Okay.
want to do PhD. Although I'm enrolled in master's program, but I want to do PhD. So I don't want to stop there, and I want to commit it now. Make sure you commit,
Okay.
yeah, committed that I want to do PhD. I don't want to just stop in my master's program. Is it possible to work in your lab and things like that? Because if you are committed to that, it's very, very possible, very much possible that they will say that,
Okay.
yeah, if that is the case, you can work for our lab in for a semester or so, and then we will I will enroll you in my program or enroll you in my lab. Is it possible?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Then I would.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I would like to have suggestions on like making a research proposal. Like.
No, 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 no. So, research proposal is very subject specific.
Okay.
This is the area which you work on. Biotechnology is not my area. So I can't suggest you,
Okay.
because that research proposal would be very, very specific. So I would say first have the conversation, and then professor
Okay.
can say, okay, if that is the case, can you tell me about your research plan? Then you can work on it.
Okay.
If he or she asks. But again, as I said, you have to understand that you are taking a risk of him or her saying no after a semester.
Okay.
Okay, because you don't have a commitment. But I can tell you, most of the time that happens is, if professor is says, if you are committed, I will allow you to come to my lab and work and so forth. After a semester, most of the time it is possible, because what happens is, even if he is willing to pay for your tuition, your expenses, like for example house expenses, house rent, food and all that, is not that expensive. You can do, work in library or so forth and figure that out. The most expensive thing is your tuition.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, I think this
Yeah.
might work. But again, I'm not sure if many students are able to travel nowadays also.
Yeah. Anyway, I have to defer my admits. So like anyway, I can approach professors for that like for spring
Yeah, I mean,
2021.
I know many students that I spoken, that they said that their admission, their university is saying there will be 80% online classes. I mean, so my point here is, what's the point of paying them money and sitting at home and taking classes, right? Don't
Yes.
I don't think you should do that. Yeah. But
Yeah.
but I think that's a good point. Just keep me in the loop. Send email to professors at Brown and at Cornell and at Melbourne, saying that I want to do PhD. Push them to commit. Push them for a commitment that I want to do PhD. Can I get funding